Next question, very interesting. It has been recommended that Olney should have a period of prototyping where we try lots of different things and fail at many of them. Could you speak about this? So repeating, it has been recommended that Olney should have a period of prototyping where we try lots of different things and fail at many of them. Could you speak about this process? Mike?
It's an important idea in technology is developing a prototype. One of the things I say about software is plan to throw one away. I relate it back to something that actually I learned in high school, the sort of classic essay we learned to write in high school. I didn't even know the name of it at that point, but it described generally as thesis, antithesis, synthesis. So basically you would argue for a particular idea, you present an argument against that particular idea, and then how you synthesize the combination and come up with some way of reconciling the two. And I think that the way that works in my work is if I develop an algorithm to do something, I also usually try and develop another algorithm to do it to try and compare them so that I can realistically evaluate the strengths and the weaknesses of each. There's almost never one way to do something that is absolutely the best way. So in general, being able to look at something, trying to determine which one is going to be better, and in a sense, the one I don't use is the failure. But the only way to get to where I want to get to is to explore that and understand why it's a problem. The classic trade-off in computers is time versus memory. I can develop an algorithm that's very fast, uses a lot of memory. I can develop an algorithm that doesn't use much memory, is very slow. And often I'll set up two different algorithms and try and figure out, guess how they're going to perform, and I have to make a decision. Eventually I've got to write one of them. I can't just sit and alternate between the two forever. But what I learned from that one that I throw away, from that prototype, informs my understanding of the other one. And sometimes by developing that prototype, I'll say, that prototype solves this problem. I did not understand that problem needed to be solved by the other algorithm as well, and will inform it. So most of the time, a lot of the work that I do gets thrown away. It's a prototype. I think the hardest issue there with prototypes is letting go of it. And that's an issue. Once you get the prototype started, you have to be passionate about it to put the energy into it to get it started. And I think the hard thing is to stop and say, okay, look, this really isn't going to work out. I've identified this fundamental problem. It's not going to work out. It's time to shift to the other one. Or you have a situation where one person pushes one prototype, another person pushes another prototype, and you end up with a lot of head banging because we care about the ideas that we postulate, and we have some attachment to them. I'm going to leave this mic.
They're part of you. Don, I think you wanted to respond?
I just wanted to say on the prototype thing, I think it depends entirely on how much capital you're going to have to invest in the prototype, because I think it's wonderful to look at 100 different ideas, and people can look at different ones and make a case for them, or look at the market, or look at how much the manufacturer or the service or whatever, what would be involved in supplying that. But then before you, quotes, make a prototype, I'm not sure how far that goes. You need to see how much capital is going to be invested in it, and you need to narrow them down to not very many.
Thank you. Next question is nice and broad, but I think talks to what a lot of our presenters have talked about tonight, and that is finding a need and then filling that need, finding the niche, filling that niche. And the question reads, what are the needs here in the community? Who'd like to take a stab at that?
It's kind of like the answer to the other question. I think you'd really have to do some looking to find what the needs are, and I don't know what the needs are, but I'm sure there are some.
Gentlemen?
Even though I lived in all those places, my father is from Wheeling, and I remember as a kid coming here over 50 years ago when the Ohio Valley was very busy, and Wheeling was really a dynamic little town. And it's kind of, it's not upsetting to me because I don't consider myself to be a local, but I know a lot of these old folks that I cook for are not happy with what's happened to the local area. And I also noticed that some of these decisions were made by some of these same people that did not do well for downtown Wheeling. As to fill this thing, I have absolutely no idea. I thought that they should have sold Wheeling to Bill Gates in the 90s, and he could have turned it into some sort of gigantic campus for his company. Wheeling is in such dreadful shape. The steel industry, I don't think, will come back. I hope they keep cool here for whatever opinions you may have on it. To me, it's still the strongest thing I see around here on a large scale. It's not pleasant to say, but it just is for right now.
Thank you. Very interesting question has just been handed to me. And the question reads, some people are shy about making money because it feels like taking advantage of somebody. For the panelists, how do you feel about money? Does your business have a social purpose? For example, the triple bottom line of people, planet, and profit. And to repeat, some people are shy about making money because it feels like taking advantage of somebody. For the panelists, how do you feel about money? Does your business have a social purpose? Specifically, the triple bottom line of people, planet, and profit.
I'll go first. I admit that I was shy about making money as a youth. I was never taught how to make it. It is a skill. You will be taught it if you're serious about it. You'll go to a business school, and those guys that come out make a lot of money, quite frankly. I was very uncomfortable making money because I was also taught there might have been something vaguely dishonest about it. The old saying, property is theft, was drummed into my head hard. When I went to school, I no longer believe that. Certainly there's types of theft. I think an honest day's work is just that. Never forget that if you have a job, you're hiring people, you are paying those people. What they do with their money is their own business, but you are providing them the cash for their own lives. And if you want to do good with, if you accumulate a lot of money, you cannot give something when, like I said before, if you do not have it, there's nothing wrong with accumulating, giving it away. That's a tradition in this country that they might not speak a lot of, but is very evident. I'll say something for what it's worth. I did go to college also. I went to Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. One of my friends just sold his company. He had a well drilling company. I never even understood it. He hooked up with a guy in England. Ran pumps for mines or something. I never really quite got it, but he just sold his business for $500 million. He's now the biggest donor to many colleges that I know in Pennsylvania, and friends of mine that sit on boards for some of these schools have tapped into this guy in a very big way. He's not shy about giving it away either. Don't think that money is something evil or inherent in itself. The saying is not that what is that saying? Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. You must know how to handle it. I can't tell you how to do that. That's your own decision. But don't worry about making a profit. It's very difficult. What you do with it can be for good or bad. As far as the planet Earth, I'm not a scientist. I can't speak for that. It's been here a long time, and it will be here a long time yet.
Excellent answer. Thank you, Mark.
I just want to say that money really, from my point of view, is just a tool, and you shouldn't be afraid to make money. It gives you the means to do things, and if it's your focus, I think you probably won't end up being very happy by the time you retire, if that is your focus. If you're doing something you're passionate about and you need to make money to make things work, and so I wouldn't be shy about that. But if that's your focus and it's not just a tool, then I think you won't look back on your life with a lot of satisfaction.
Thank you. Mike, anything you want to add? That's an interesting question.
I think I'd agree with following your passion. In terms of general answer, the company I work for doesn't care about very much other than the bottom line. There's a saying, computer science, that computer science is idiocy at the speed of light in the service of mankind. But I don't know that we actually do very much service for mankind. I think following your passion, for me, pure geek, I love the fact that a distributed lock service that I wrote and understand runs in every one of our arrays several times a second since 1990, and it works every time. If it doesn't work, I get a call about it, but it intrigues me to be able to build, to me it's almost a mechanical function, and I thoroughly enjoy what I'm doing. And to me, I'm very much with follow your passion. I understand that money is a tool. Now, it's also the case technology is sort of spoiled. I understand that. We're paid well, have extraordinary benefits and all that. So it happens that following this particular passion for me as opposed to writing novels or dancing, which I both enjoyed. This one actually pays money, which is very nice. It is a nice tool to have.
Great question and great answers. The next question I don't totally understand, but I'm assuming people in the room understand the question, and if you don't, maybe whoever wrote the question can help me out here. But the question reads, the model of the school, university, college in California, can we use some of those same ideas and models in Deep Springs, with Deep Springs being underlined? Again, I don't totally understand the question, but I'm assuming. Please, thank you. Thoughts? Sounds like we need more information.
I think, yes, I think we should do more research and learn about it.
There's your answer.
There you go.
Okay. Next question is for the only students in the room. Are you excited? Good answer. Do you want to be an entrepreneur someday? And if so, why? And in what field? So the question is, do you want to be an entrepreneur yourself? And if you are, what kind of field do you see yourself doing, and why would you like that field? Who wants to be first? Wonderful.
Ooh, okay, like, I think I want to be an entrepreneur in culinary, in like the culinary arts, because I love to cook and I want to like make a lot of money, so I can like give back, cause like I wasn't born with a lot, and I just want to. Oh, it's the phone. Okay, it scared me. Okay, like, I don't know exactly what part of culinary arts that I want to do, but I was thinking maybe about having my own business, like a wedding cake business, and maybe having like branches in like New York or like California, like big cities. But I'm not sure yet. Like, I'm still deciding. I'm a senior, so I have time, but it's like hard.
Thank you. Mark, any suggestions?
I know people have done very well in business. I would study finance too. I'm dead serious. Study business models. Learn how to read all that stuff, and become very articulate. You'll get people to back you better. You'll work like a dog. Is all I'll say. You work horrific hours. I'm not joking. It's a lot of hours. It's extremely rewarding. Wedding cakes are big money. I know people selling them for $10 a slice. They sell them for more than my food. It's unbelievable to me, anyway. So it can be done. When you're young, you have tons of energy.